Okay, some of the items you'll need a pencil, and I'll show you why in a little bit. You're going to probably need a rolling pin. You're going to need a cloth to roll out on so it doesn't stick to the table. I have a toothbrush and a water cup to attach pieces, the eyes and the nose, my features, onto my clay and to smooth things out. I also have a plastic knife so that I can cut the clay easily, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clay. This is too thick. It's almost the right size, but I need to thin it out a little bit. You want it kind of the thickness of a pencil or a little thicker, but that is just too thick for your clay. And this way I'll be able to have extra area to make my... So when I roll this out, make sure you're standing when you roll out so that you have your weight behind the rolling pin so it'll roll easier. And make sure you're doing it on the cloth. Because if you're not doing it on the cloth, it's going to stick to the table and you're going to have a really hard time with it. Okay. That is better. It's a little thick, but it's not too bad. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is take my stencil, and I'm going to put it right here. Take a pencil, and just trace along the tagboard. I'm not trying to cut it with the pencil, because that'll just be too hard, and you'll have a really messed up edges if you do that. So I'm just drawing over it. So now I have the basic shape. Then take your knife. And now I know where I need to go. And if I make a mistake, I can go back in and fix it. And I'm just taking my time. So like this piece, I don't need. So I can just take pieces away so that it's easier to cut into it and get the shape I want. So the first thing I'm going to do, once I have the shape I want, but do you see why it's going to be, if you have a little tiny face, it's going to be impossible to do all the details with clay. We're not just drawing it in there, guys. We're actually adding the features. Okay, the first thing I need to do is I need to smooth out the edges. I just wet my finger and I smooth those edges out right off the bat. I can even smooth the edge over here so it's nice and smooth. Okay. Once all the edges are nice and smooth, then you're going to use your extra scraps of clay and you're going to cut the shapes you want for your features, meaning your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your eyebrows, whatever you're going to do. So the first thing I do is I know I want my hair to kind of be wavy and around my face like this. So if I want to do that, what I might do is take some of these little pieces and I'm going to roll a coil. If you remember what a coil is, it's kind of like a snake. You use your fingers to roll, and I can roll it. Works a little better right on the table when you're rolling coils. Okay, so if I have a coil like this, I can score it. And I'm going to bring that kind of like around for the shape of my hair. And I'm going to add a few of these coils, and these are going to give my hair kind of a texture. So once I have my shape of my hair, I'm going to want to go back in and make sure everything's smooth exactly the way I want it. Doing my eyes, same thing. I'm drawing the shape of them. I think I want one bigger than the other. I think that unevenness is a very Picasso looking thing. So I'm going to take one eye and I'm going to cut it out. And then comparing it So if this is the eye shape, if I want it a little smaller, I'm just going to go in a little bit and cut that one out. They're not going to be a huge difference, just a little bit. Now, at this point, I know I have my stencil. If I want to change anything on it, you can change it. That's up to you. If you get a better idea, you get another thing you want to try, you can. So before I attach this eye, I'm going to smooth it all out and get it exactly the shape I want. Okay, and so if I have this eye is really big. So maybe I have that eye kind of almost in the middle. So before I attach, I'm going to score it. I'm going to score the back so it's all roughed up. And then I'm going to put my eye in. And I should be able to tug on it gently, and it should not come off. Okay, so there's my basic shape. And then other details I can add by drawing in the designs. Like this is the part so I can draw all kinds of details into my eye. So I'm putting my other eyes on. I'm deciding where I want them. I don't want them even. I might put this one underneath my hair. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep adding all my features. So for my nose, I can put in a flat shape for my nose if I want a flat shape. And I can just kind of draw a nose shape and make it crooked or whatever. And put it in flat. You know, wherever my nose is going to go. I might have to go a little smaller because it's getting too big. The other thing I can do for a nose shape, I can make kind of a pyramid shape. Sticking up. Kind of that. And flat on one side, and I can stick my nose in that way too. So if I take this shape, I can see where it'll fit. I think I'm going to go right there with it. I'm going to make it a little smaller. So I'm going to make a shape like this to create that nose. Well, that's a good question because whether or not you have to have all your features, you have to have enough on it so it looks like a face and it looks finished. So maybe you don't have much of a nose. Maybe even draw the nose in or just kind of the line of the nose. And you can do that. So I'm going to put this nose in. I keep making it a little too big. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. So it's going to be a small nose. And I'm going to make sure I score, because I'm scoring everything before I attach. So that's almost like a realistic looking nose. The last part I'm going to do here is add his ear. I'm going to take another coil, and this coil is going to be kind of thick on the bottom one side, and then it's going to get skinnier on the other side. So I'm just going to roll this side a little bit more because I want my earlobe to be a little thicker and the rest of the ear to be a little thinner. So all I'm going to do is smooth this out. Now, if I feel like, yeah, I don't really have enough space, that's okay too. I don't have to have an ear. Even though my design says an ear, I can say, yeah, I'm not going to do the ear. I kind of made my hair larger and took up some of the face. But right now I can finish the ear this way. And it's kind of like a question mark shape. And then I kind of squish it in one spot. And then I just take another little space, get some water on it. I can add like this little piece here And then I can just kind of sculpt into it with my pencil and get it the way I want it. Okay, once I have my features where I want them, I'm going to take a little of this clay out. Once I have my features where I want them, then I can go ahead and make sure everything's attached well, everything's smoothed out. If I want to draw any details on it with my pencil, I can add details with my pencil to make it look exactly the way I want it. Okay? And that's my Picasso self-portrait. And clear everything out and tug on everything, make sure it's attached well. So I'm going to fix my ear a little bit more. And then I will be done. Okay. Make sure everything is smoothed out and exactly the way you want it before you let it dry.